great. How about yours? All right, so this whole Mthuli Ncube story is quite interesting. But again, I know where this entire game is coming from. Of course, you know there are people that aligns with Chiwenga. So this page here that has been sending such incredible and a lot of controversial statements is alive and well on X as we speak. And I think you've seen it circulating across all social media platforms that Mthuli Ncube is under surveillance. But by the way, you also need to know that his ministry has been accused of so many corrupted deals. So of course, they should be, undercover, cameras that are monitoring what's going on with Guamatanga and Mthuli Ncube. It's obvious. But anyway, let's get into the nitty-gritties so that we can see what's happening. Now, Mr. Clout Chaser, okay, Mr. Clout Chaser, I'm referring to Wicknell, now strikes again. He's now pursuing the Mutukuzi family just for clout. What else is he looking for? Clout. Now, let me send you some shout out to Tapio. Good to see you. And a lot of people that are joining me right now. Memo, good to see you. Guys, if it is your first time to come across this channel, okay, please subscribe. Make sure that you ring the bell so that at least you don't miss any of the content that I'm sending out there, And also to my regulars, the ones that are coming now, Charles, good to see you. I want to say shout out, y'all. What's happening? Are you guys doing well? For those that did not watch the old video that we did this morning, today actually, please do yourself a favor and listen to that video. Quite interesting information that is coming out. Of course, in ZANU-PF, the fights are intensifying for that reason. People are just spilling the beans. And we are here to discuss making sure that we don't get hoodwinked again like what happened in 2017. Because if we are not careful, we can be hoodwinked. This time even worse. Even worse. So let us be smarter than devils, right? We need to be smarter than the devil. All right, so yet about me something, but I want to give you a background. I want to give you a background of why we are in this mess that we are in now, especially with the Minister of Finance. We must never forget that there's also President Mnangagwa Sunday, who is the Deputy Minister as we speak, right? And with all these accusations of these guys signing out deals, including corrupt deals, giving people tenders, compromised individuals, and also claiming cuts, from the very same tenders, a lot of accusations. But I want to read what Hopo Chingono said. Okay, I want to read this tweet. He said Zimbabwean senior opposition. Now he was referring to Amos. Amos was was released yesterday. After they released him, they arrested him again. Right? So it says Zimbabwean senior opposition leader Amos Chibai was arrested last week and granted bail yesterday. However, as soon as prison officials released him, Mnangagwa's notorious law and order police section arrested him again. Right? They arrested him again. This is not okay. They arrested him again last night. This is a country in economic tatters with the highest inflation in the world and 95% unemployment rate. Yet the government is focused on pursuing and punishing opposition leaders using captured state institutions. This time, Shibaya was arrested for allegedly inciting public violence when all he did was read court date announcements to his party supporters who had gathered to show solidarity with another group of imprisoned opposition and civil society leaders. This is the kind of behavior. This is the kind of behavior that has turned the Mnangagwa regime into a pariah state. Zimbabwe will never thrive under this thug. I want to underline that. This is what pushing on it. Zimbabwe will never thrive under this thug president. It will remain stagnant, unable to prosper, and will continue to put pressure on regional countries as its people look up for better. Wow. Opportunities. I feel sorry for foreign ambassadors who support Mnangagwa. Each time they report to their capitals that things might improve, Mnangagwa does nothing, so does something foolish again. The repeated imprisonment of Amos Chibai is just one of those acts from Mnangagwa's playbook that shows nothing will change as long as this tyrant and the thugs remain in power. The only thing that keeps Mnangagwa going is the lack of a united opposition front. That is what it would take to deal with this mess, and not individual political pursuits. And I know when he's talking about individual political pursuits, referring to Nelson Chamisa, who else is running this ship alone, which is not even correct. Bless me. Which is not even correct. So here we are with the issue of Miss Mthuli. But you don't need to forget last week what happened when Senengam came out. Senengam made it very clear and asked the question that said who was backing him up. Of course, Chiwenga is backing him up. That's for a fact. Because Chiwenga spoke about corruption. And we also heard during the day, for those that listened to the video that we did in the morning, that the ZANU-PF people, I'm talking about ZANU-PF staunch supporter within the camp, are saying because Chiwenga doesn't like corruption, most people, especially thugs or criminals, don't like his leadership. They would rather keep him in Mnangagwa so they can keep looting it freely. You can see what's happening with Chivaya. We're gonna get into that issue a little bit later on. But what I wanna talk about right now is the issue of Mthuli. Of course, if Chiwenga is complaining about corruption, and also you heard Senengam on record that we are going to pursue almost every person who is corrupt. You know, we are going to pursue them. But I want to remind you, because somebody, for those that did not listen to what Senengam said, I want you to take a listen to them, because I actually extracted a small piece because I wanted you to listen to him speaking regarding the issue of pursuing every corrupt individual. And I must say, considering the information that is coming out on social media, without a doubt, there's definitely people who are sending information out, which means they are watching almost every move. And I do remember, I know that there's quite another intelligence that's going on that kind of work with other people within the camps in the Zimbabwean society who are saying this is what is happening, or someone is going to move this way. Like, how did we know that today people are going to resign from ZANU-PF, which I'm waiting for the names too. I'm sure it's going to pop out a little bit later on. But let's take a listen to Mr. Senengam, please. Screaming.
We are able to rid Zimbabwe of this menace and monster called corruption. Nasi ndaona kuti hatinga.
My apologies. I made a mess. It's me. Okay. I apologize.
Days also. We are going to refer those cases to the relevant authorities. Pangua, Tichita Fula. But when it becomes necessary, we are going to be naming and shaming if it becomes necessary. After exhausting all other means and ways. But like I said,
I started addressing. I'm not shying away from apologizing to anybody and everybody. Wandakataurira mashoka asina kunaka, wandakata disrespect, wandaka offender. I sincerely, please find it in your hearts to forgive me. I've mentioned two individuals, those in public. Pacho, you see, being out of malice, sometimes it's really necessary. I've mentioned Comrade Mnangagwa, President. I've mentioned Chamisa, and I can't bring it taking out. It was not necessary. Is under Sira, my politicians. Sarai Muchitilana Kupi, Iko, I in politics, and Sisiko. I will engage with these, my leaders and any other leader, with respect. And Tenengamu Darawe, Sisiko Matarangu, Pana Tenengamu, Nyoan. I could deal the three issues: anti-corruption, empowerment activism, philanthropy. So this is basically the reason we called for this presser to let Zimbabweans know that we have started an anti-corruption revolution. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a stroll in the park. Those we are going to drag are also going to throw back Matombos is serious. But we must be ready. If you think you want to be part of this initiative, please get in touch with me. We are open and ready to work with everybody. And to those who have been benefiting out of corruption, we are rough riders. Pamwe pacho kana tikaona kuti hapashande professionalism, tinodhonzana nemi kusvika right. Kunyara kuba nekubira veruzhinji rwevanhu. Because what you have been doing zvakosta upenyu hwevanhu. And we are ready for you. So you must know kuti it's not gonna be business as usual. And munofanira kuziva kuti kana mukaata katsenengamo, timu rasara kumashure uku revaferefeti nemagweta, munongoona basa richingoenda mberi, macases achingorohwa, ende pamaplatforms edu, pawebsite, patwitter, pafacebook and everywhere, nepamachannels edu epawhatsapp, muchingorikitwa left right center, because kamba haisi kuzovharwa nekufa kwemujoni. So ndoda kuti ndikutendei mazimbabweans, unless paine vane mubvunzo. I know kuti vazhinji venyu you had anticipated that I'm going to delve into my issues at 2030 nechi handisisiko kupolitics, ndakasiya. Dai handichiriko izvozvi, dai ndaibata ye 2030 ndafamba nayo chaizvo kuti vari kuita nezvayo vaizokutsikana, but ina handichaita izvozvo, tasiyira vamwe taakuitawo zvedu zvatakuita. Politics ndakadzitadza, ende vaya vanoseka vachiti vakakundika politics, sure I admit ndakadzitadza. Iyi type yepolitics idzi ndakadzitadza, dzebootlicking nedzekunyeperana idzi ndakadzitadza, handidzikwanise. Sarai muite, isusu taakuita zvimwe. Thank you.
Okay. Now, he's right about the issue of the bootlicking and all the nonsense. I also don't buy that. There must be something wrong with our politics. Okay, anyway, okay, we know there's something wrong, of course. But I really want to focus on the issue of, we all know that Zimbabweans are more employment mad. Like, they like jobs and jobs. And now there's an issue of Mnangagwa, who people know that he's going to leave. There's, without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to leave. It's going to leave very soon. You can see how quiet it is within the camps and with what's going on here. I know a lot is going on, and he's going to leave very soon, actually. Very soon. Now, the question we need to have is that, what's next from all this nonsense? What's next? Because I think that's where my focus is. Because I'm not prepared to go back where we are coming from. I'm so worried. Like, I don't like cutting corners. I believe that if you follow the process, it may take longer. But at least that's the only way you're guaranteed success. You know, I was told, like, some of the young girls, my family members, and said, if you think you can jump this process and get to the front, let me just tell you, you're going to come back to the very same process maybe 5-10 years to come. We did not do things right, and we cannot carry on cutting corners. We need to find a solution of going back to the drawing board, free and fair election. And that free and fair election only under external supervisions, not with Zach. I don't want to hear about, I don't even want to talk about that, because that's going to make me angry, and I'm not prepared to embrace, negative energy. I need to focus on the important things. Yeah. We need to go back to the drawing board, free and fair election, and choose a leader that Zimbabweans want. That's the only guarantee we have in this country. And this is not all because of politics. It's simply a principle. You can't build a country on the platform of gimmicks. And I'm also a firm believer that once a person wants to be at the front, it's a red flag. Because leaders prefer others. That's how leaders are. Leaders, they're just going to be found and put there by the people, not pushing and we go their way. I'm sorry, y'all. I may be different in my thinking, but I still believe that principles reign supreme. You can't cut corners and expect a change. So for these allegations of Mthuli that is under surveillance, I'm going to read that tweet that was sent out, or a statement that was sent out during the day that you see circulating across social media. That breaking news. Finance Minister Mthuli reportedly under 24 surveillance cameras. Like, there are fears that he may flee the country after he told his close friends that his situation is not stable. Former Minister of Finance Nkosana Moyo once skipped the country without resignation during Mugabe era. But of course, we all know that everything is going to fall on Mthuli Ncube. And Mthuli Ncube knows it's not actually him. There are people that are doing all these shenanigans. It's unfortunate. He's the Minister of Finance. That's why I've always been having questions and said, the people that Mnangagwa employs are always questionable individuals, right? Yeah, the way they behave, the way they run, they're doing their duties, there's just something so off about them. Something off. Remember when John came in, I'm talking about John too, Mushavan. I knew something was off, man. The way he was moving his eyes, and I remember someone said, that was Jackie. Jackie was Kasuguri's attorney. I remember she said, no, I knew this guy. I went to school with him. He's actually a qualified guy. He's very centered. I think he's gonna do a great job. I remember I said to myself, with the way he was running his eyes, like his eyes were all over the place. The first day he started talking, and then I'm very analytical, so I look into almost every little detail, you know. So, the way he was running his eyes, I was like, no, because he can only work with the people that he gives command to do whatever he wants. It's just you can see it. All of them, they can't finish a statement without talking about Mnangagwa. Right? They cannot finish a statement without talking about Mnangagwa. To me, it's bootlicking. I've never heard ministers here like where I am. I've never heard ministers talk about Ramaphosa unless we're applicable. If they have to mention his name because he said something, right? But they don't talk about him because it's not important. But in a Zimbabwean context, it's always Mnangagwa. Without finishing a sentence, like your kids. You guys, you act like children. Very unprofessional. Very much unprofessional. Very unprofessional. So there were a lot of reactions to that, but one of that stood up for me was Kasukure, who asked it and said, but I told you, politics of Zimbabwe and Dakato's master. There's a lot of information that comes out, and then when that information comes out, and then, people, for some reason, remember, information from the people that are in Zimbabwe, who are within the ministries, who are watching everything that's going on there. People are watching, Zimbabweans are watching, because they know there's a lot of criminals and thugs that have ruined this country. People know. There is no doubt about it. But the question that we need to ask is, what are we saying about all these shenanigans? Because some people are standing up firmly and they're talking to say this is not working, and I'm worried if we can go. I don't want to go back where we came from, but if we are not smart enough, we can, because we're still reshuffling the very same old people they're doing absolutely nothing. The same failures within the system will not work to reform Zimbabwe. They are good sitting there at the bench like brothers and sisters, doing whatever they want to do, where we just love each other, but holding positions and be able to be in leadership. They don't have the characteristics and the bond and the stamina, even the knowledge to do so. Because when you're a leader, there's no, you're my relative, you're my friend. No, we're not friends. When it's business time of work, it's work. And I think the other problem that I'm seeing that we are facing is more of entitlement. The entitlement spirit that is within the camps of ZANU-PF is very toxic, and is one of the reasons why we can't move forward. We need to get to a point where people know that you are not Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is not you. You are simply a person like anyone else. There's nothing fancy about you. That's why that word should be sent out there, especially the word of reminding people that you are not better than anyone else. In this a bootlicker, okay? And I hate some of the traditions that we kind of following. We are not under a monarchy where you're saying, oh, but that's a queen and that's a king and that is a prince or the princess, whatever the case may be. We need to start respecting ourselves by not bootlicking even children of presidents or ministers or whatever. We need to stop that. Because once we are operating that way, we are forever going to be servants to these people, including their children. How many ministers today that actually shivers by simply talking to Mnangagwa's children, the president? That they can be given command by a child who does not hold no portfolio, and they will be like walking on eggshells. We need to stop that. Let that person comes and sit next to you and you don't even bother, like they don't exist. I remember one day, when I take my walks or when I run in the morning, so that day I was listening to an interview that was for Miranda Getz. when Melinda Gates was having a conversation with Jay Shetty. And Melinda Gates said something that touched my heart. They said when they were raising their children, because Bill Gates was a well-known, famous rich man. So one thing that they did is they spoke to the school that when we bring our kids to the school, first of all, we don't come to take them. You will not see us here. We want these kids to be like any other child. We don't want people to know that they're our kids. So we're not going to come here for sporting or anything. You will not see me or my husband here. We'd rather send other people to come because we won't want people to see that they are Bill Gates' kids. Because the moment we do that, these kids are going to think that they are better than other kids. I'm simply trying to show you when people understand what legas means. And here we are, especially us traditional people, like the African people. South Africa is different. I've seen Ramaphosa kids. Nobody cares when they're passing. Who cares? Like, oh, it's Ramaphosa's son. Oh, bless you. Maybe the club, when women wants the money, I don't know. I don't do clubbing, so I wouldn't know. I know where there's money, women are always there. But I'm simply telling you, we need to stop. Like, looking at these people like they're better than others. You're not worshiping them. Bottling them. That's one of the reasons why they keep on abusing us. There's nothing special and fancy about them. They are simply human beings. This is why you can't question a president when he's wrong. You can hear that he's talking Senegal, but he's talking but with a bit of fear in him. We should not be afraid of a person who left their mother's house and say, I want to be your leader. We did not go after them. They left. It's like if I wake up tomorrow and Chamisa is a president, when he's a president, he start wanting to abuse people. But first and foremost, we did not come. He is the one who came here and said, guys, I want to be your leader. We need to stop. Let's learn to introduce a culture of questioning people, notwithstanding the title they hold. Once we do that, we don't care. Sit here next to me, bless you. And then I'm not a celebrity person. When I see celebrities, I go and take a picture. I'm not that kind of person. I don't care about that. I can greet you as a person. I don't care whether you are wherever you are or where you come from. I don't even care. What I care about is when you treat other people with respect. Then I care. But if you can abuse the way ZANU-PF is doing, you don't have any ounce of my respect because you don't treat people properly. We need to start stopping the issue of bootlicking. Bootlicking has to go. Binga culture nonsense. It has to end. That's why they're stealing to maintain the status. So they can just treat you like nothing. Yeah, I can tell you. So I'm a woman, so I'll tell you. No, if you're almost 42, you must know that I've met men. There are men who thinks if I come driving a most expensive car, or if I come here, if I show you where I stay or my house, a woman is gonna. No, you can meet other women like that. If you meet me, I don't care. Whether you're staying in Borodo, you're staying in Mpare, I care about your character, how you treat others. That's what matters. And we need to start introducing a culture of respecting people based on the way they treat others, not what they have. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Those who care, you need to change. Understand that you also have purpose and a calling that is so special and unique, all right? Before God Almighty, you are beautiful, you are amazing. Believe in yourself. Before you start believing in others, you matter. So here we are. Moving on. Very powerful message that was sent out by this small little angel, this baby. And again, she's addressing the issues in Zimbabwe. Many people are speaking up, and you and I, we need to start speaking up loudly and let that be heard by any politician. Again, there's no food in Zimbabwe. Shops are empty. I must say respect for Mugano. Mugano was very clear and spoke about this, even though Muchangwa kept on trying to bastardize him. He was right that this whole Zig thing is going to collapse. Where are we now? It has collapsed. I'm hearing that Mnangagwa was promoted 2 army generals, which I'm not even worried about. I mean, whether you promote or not. We want a society that people can get food to eat, and we want clean water because people don't have water as we speak. They are buying water in Harare. Then it's the time that, guys, maybe some people you don't listen to my advice. And then you can get water. What would you suffer for? What are you suffering for? I'm just saying, what for? There's no reason. But anyway, let's hear out what Chamisa is saying. He wrote a list of stuff here that he thinks that's going to be done for the pensioners. So that's Chamisa also, yeah. Another conversation we're going to have. Very thorough conversation, because some people think, let me tell you, some people think as we are getting towards the most sensitive time, there are people that may think he's not a good leader. Some think he's a good leader. You know what, where I stand. But I wanted people who are saying, and they've been saying, you can see them in the comment section typing. I don't care if they're haters from ZANU-PF, whatever the case may be. But we want to hear them out. Why is it they think that Chamisa may not be the good president for the country? They must put it in writing. I'm sure they'll come and read that information. I am not prepared to go back where you're coming from. I'm not prepared. But let me read what he wrote out today. He said he has got a plan for the elderly, pensioners, senior citizens. He said today, as the world celebrates International Day of the Older Persons, under the theme Aging with Dignity, the importance of strengthening care and support systems for older persons worldwide, I'm reminded of the deteriorating social and economic welfare of Zimbabwe and how it impacts our older generation. Many of our senior citizens have made significant contributions to building our country with nothing or little to show for it. Some continue to be impacted by the economic hardships, currency fluctuations, and deteriorating social and health services, living on monthly pensions, payouts that consistently lose value. I know that. Our senior citizens deserve a life of dignity, honor, comfort, and security. Our hashtag God is in it has a great plan for the elderly. In the new, there shall be a My Aged Care portal with a personalized record will be created for every leader, also known as a client record. Contact details. I mean, he wrote quite a number of things which are not even important here. You guys can also just check in with these on his page as well, where he dropped that information. But he was simply just kind of drawing a map of how they're going to be treating the elderly people, which is a good thing. A lot of things in Zimbabwe has to change. That's why, with all respect, I have so much respect for Chiwenga. I have respect, but unfortunately, I don't think he can be the leader of Zimbabwe. And I'll tell you why. We're already in two different generations apart. And we need people who are current. Unfortunately, we need people who are current, but I think he can play a huge role. That's why I still say, I don't know why Zimbabweans can't see this. If we check other countries, I've been watching ANC very closely recently. And I've seen Vanam Tamombeki, Vanam Motlantle, these old guys who have been in the ANC for a long time. Every time when there are these national issues, they're all sitting around there, they're having conversations, they're impacting the generations, they're speaking to the people, they're giving guidelines and advice. Why is it in a Zimbabwean context they are failing to do such a simple thing? To trust in the young, but then you guide them, like you mold your own children. That's what leadership is about, creating and building a strong legacy. In a Zimbabwean context, it's different. They're always holding on to power. They don't want to let go, even if they don't have anything to offer. That's quite sad, honestly. So if I was Chiwenga, man, I'll do right by the people and walk out being the most respected man in town. And say, I will stand by you, but you guys choose your own leader. Whoever you want, you have my support. And you will be the most respected man. He's going to walk away with such a strong legacy that people never forget, because he stood by the people. Because what's going on in the country right now, Mnangagwa's legacy is gone. He doesn't have no legacy at all. Mnangagwa's worse, because I've already forgotten that we had a person by the name Mugabe. I've forgotten about him, because he caused nothing but misery. Even though he did some of the things that were good, unfortunately, the pain that he caused erased everything that he did that were right. Now Mnangagwa, worse. We'll forget him just like that. All those pictures, God knows what was going to happen there. Only God knows. I'm not there, but I know the future will tell. So if Chiwenga is smart, you're just going to stand by the people and say, I want you to do a free and fair election. You have my support. Anything that you want, I'll back you up. Always come here and consult. That's wisdom. That's building a strong, robust political legacy, a name. And you know, biblically, God says that a good name is better than riches, cars and houses that you're all worshipping. It's nothing. Now we have this man, Wicknell Shiva. And we know, and I'll tell you why he did what he's doing. And I'll tell you, in a Zimbabwean context, it's all about the mind game. It's playing each other. It's all about the mind game. Do you know why he gave Daisy a car? Number one, chasing of clout. Okay, now there are people nearly 200 there. Please like the live, push algorithm. I want people to come and listen to this video, please. Number one is the chasing of clout. Because you know what? Nobody cared. People had forgotten that there was a person by the name Wicknell. So he was just want to say, I'm here. Please see me. But he doesn't know that we have moved. We have moved. We have already forgotten about him. It's not important right now. We are focusing on making sure we have a Zimbabwe that functions. Because we also know he's part of the criminal cartel. And you must remember, it's coming for him. They are coming for him. These days are numbered. Now, he went and gave Daisy Mutukuzi's wife a car. Because he knew that what people are discussing about right now is Mutukuzi. I mean, they discussed about it last week. And it's kind of trending now. It's fading away. But because he's chasing clout, he said he has given Daisy a car. The question is why? He wrote an entire statement. And people are laughing at him. Why are you doing so? And do not forget also that the audios that are circulating now from ZANU-PF, these audios that are alleging that they are painting a picture of how this criminal cartel operates. He knows that he's in danger. So now he doesn't know. You know when you have no peace in your heart, you try to be nice. Sir, the time of manipulation is gone. If I were you, please donate to Kuchikurubi. Make sure at least that jail is fixed. Because if not, that's going to be your home for life. All right. Don't be too comfortable. All right? Don't be too comfortable. So, a lot of reactions, but I want to read up. This one is very unique. Why I want to read it. It was sent out by Holy Time. Shout out to Holy Time. Yesterday I was driving, coming from my brother's house, and I was playing my songs, and for some reason YouTube took me to the song that he said he kind of had a collaboration. And he comes with this bass voice, and I'm telling my sister, I'm like, you know what, Holy Ten Anozvinsko, you can actually tell he's this, pride guy. But of course, why not? You're young. Go for it, brother. But he's got a very interesting voice when he's saying, but I want to read what he said for you. Responding to Wicknell Shiva and his nonsense of saying, I've given Daisy a car, quote unquote. So he said, Apa apana zvawaita wangu. Get out of people's lives. This is Holy Ten. And I'll tell you, Nezuro waitsvaga mukanya naso wakupindira nyaya dzekwa Mutukuzi. These are actually families that you think you can just change direction yao using money. Cooler down, Wicknell. Wakundi shorter, honestly. These people, they think they can buy Zimbabwean music industry. Miswai money, you need to be stopped. But now here's what I'm going to ask you a question. Do you remember that the people who received cars first, if I can remember correctly, what? Holy Time, Kiki Beras, and that other guy that used to sing for Chamisa, that used to sing with the Duke, I forgot his name, a tall guy, when they had a lunch with Mnangagwa's children and these ZANU-PF guys, when they were having this buffet, and I used to have questions on that, you remember that lunch thing that was circulating on social media? And when I had a problem with the way that they were eating, I was like, no, man, this is not, like, these guys are young. I'm expecting them to be calm down and they have a meal, but they were not. They were, like, yo, I'm like, yo, stop that. That's what I want to fix to the country, so that when we fix it, yo, you can be able to eat properly. Because the way they were eating. All right, so Holy Ten was the first person to be given a car. But here he is, he's telling Wicknell to sit down and behave. Did Wicknell took his car from Holy Ten? Because honestly, if he did not, tomorrow that guy is going to be taken away from him. Only God knows, yeah. Only God knows. But what I'm simply trying to tell you is, when I say to you all the time, principles Reign supreme. You cannot cut corners to the front. You are going to be cut in the process. It's a principle. Okay. The empire is falling apart. From screaming, I shout all over the place. I've got this, I've got that. Like Motoma paper. It's dying down. Now they're after you. They said, every criminal, we are watching you closely and we are going to drag you to the police station. You know what that means? I'm not surprised if they say Mulio wants to escape. I don't blame him. I mean, I can only imagine. If they know how Shukrubi looks like, don't forget. They know how it looks like. And now it makes sense why Ncube was building a house in Denfen. In 4 ways, Denfen, that side. It makes sense because he knew that one day things are going to fall apart. And now I'm going to run for my life. And I used to have a problem with how can Ncube at this age you should be downsizing, in my opinion. Because as you get older, your children are leaving the house. You remember? You're all going to be only you and your sweetheart. And maybe grandchildren coming. It means you need to downsize. You know what I mean? But no, in the Zimbabwean context, people are now building bigger houses when they are getting older. No. It's the way, the opposite is actually true. You should need to be a big house when you're young and enjoy, while you're raising your kids. But as you get older, the kids are leaving, having their own families, except grandchildren coming to Gogo's house, you can downsize or you can go to the farm. You know what I mean? But no, Mthuli had to build her house here. If these allegations are true, that's strange. Running away from the very economy that is presiding to other countries. What's going on in the heads of these men? Only God knows what's happening there. I don't understand them. I really don't. But anyway, so today I listened to a woman that you sent me. There's a lady that sent me, a lady by the name Ambassador. I've spoken about that lady a lot. She said something, has to do with money. She said that you receive money. Maybe let's say you receive about 10,000. Because I'm going somewhere, 10,000 US dollars, yeah. And she said that there's a first thing that comes into your mind. She said if that money is for land, for example, tenga stand. She said, and you take that money, you go in and buy, you start saying, I want to do a business first. And then you grow the money, and then I'll go and buy and do something in the house thing, whatever the case may be. And she was calling that strategy more like a satanic or demonic force that pushes you to take money that's supposed to be buying a stand, right? To go in then spend that money on business, and then that business fell apart. So she's talking to the people. She says, it's a spirit. I want to say to Zimbabweans here, hear this from me, okay? Based on experience, it's unfortunate that Zimbabwe is so behind, all right? But I have witnessed some of my clients who owned houses, selling all their houses and go to rent. I have witnessed it and go there and rent. What I'm trying to tell you is, brothers and sisters, if you do not own a house, don't feel bad at all. You are on the right path. Relax and chill. Live. There is nowhere, anywhere, be it in the Bible, where God says you must buy. If you don't have a house, you're not human. Or if you don't, because there are people today, I'm going to tell you, especially in the Zimbabwean context, I'm saying this and I say it from the bottom of my heart. There are people who have worked for years, okay, starving themselves, right? Say they are building a house, and the time they're supposed to finish that house and they die, or they are sick, they are no longer enjoying the house. Guys, life is to be enjoyed, not endured. Every day should be Christmas for you. Every day. You need to decide and choose to be happy. Not because you've got a house or because your neighbor built a house. If they build, praise the Lord. And be happy for them. Right? It's like the way I am as a single person. Most of my friends are married. And I was the one that, but it's a chatty man. You understand what I'm saying? But let me tell you, every day for me is Christmas Day. I have to be happy. It's happiness or nothing. I don't care whether there's a husband or not. Because you know what? My life is not being measured by having a husband. It's measured by waking up and be breathing. So most of you are sabotaging yourself because you just want to be like your neighbor. You don't have to buy a house. You don't have to build a house to be human. You see, the house that you have even in the rural is a good house. Be grateful that at least you've got a shelter. You see, that's why I respect monks. How many people have read a book called A Monk Who Sold a car to buy a Ferrari? I think a monk who sold a Ferrari. Do you remember that book? Guys, we are valuing things that are not important. Materialism is one of the reasons why Zimbabwe is collapsing. They put things before the people. And you should put the people before the things. And when people are healthy and they are happy, they think, they plan, they pursue their purpose, and they do more. But when we are valuing things before the people, we're going to kill ourselves while we're pursuing things. So if you are renting, brother or sister, don't even worry. You are on the right path. You know what? At the right time, either you buy the house or you don't, it doesn't make you less a human. Enjoy your life. Be happy. Be content. You have enough. Right? Smile. People are stealing today in Zimbabwe. Why? Because they just see people buying houses. Did you hear this morning when they were talking about Paradza, that young boy, that he also got money from all these shenanigans of corruption, and he bought a house in Borodale. But let me tell you what's going to happen. He's going to lose it just like that. The same way he got it, he's going to lose it. Because now it's on record. And the state will come after their money. I'm simply telling you to say, don't rush. Be content. You have enough. It doesn't matter. You may not, even if you, wherever you are staying there, it's enough. Be grateful to God. At least you've got something. Because the more you're grateful, the more God blesses you. Be at peace so that at least you're able to grab the ideas that God drops in your mind and you can pursue them. Don't push yourself hard. Don't force yourself. Eat, smile, drink, sleep peacefully. Do what makes you happy. Don't rush. Don't rush. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're going to go little by little, but where we are getting there. You know, God is God. God is God of miracles. God is an amazing God. He understands your journey, right? He understands your journey. You don't have to be like your friend. Because sometimes we think, oh, no, I just need to be like my neighbor. You don't have to be like your neighbor. So these kind of talks that I'm listening when women are talking of saying, when you receive the money and you want to start the business and to buy a stand, is to make people feel lesser than another person because someone bought a stand or built a house. That's poverty mentality that we have. Building a house is not success. We need to start teaching our people the truth. Building a house is not success. You know what success is? Success is peace. Because while you have peace, you can build houses. But when you're pursuing things, have sleepless nights, before you know it, you've got high blood pressure, you've got sugar, diabetes, you have got cancer because of stress, because you are pushing yourself unnecessarily. Relax, chill, be grateful. You are on the right path. I'm saying this because I love you. I don't want you to be put under pressure in mama motivational talks. I don't go for mom streeters. Hey, people can say whatever they want to say. You're bigger than this. Don't be pushed by statements on the streets. You're on the right path. Me, when I was 24 years old, right? 24, if I can remember correctly, 24 years old, my mom and I we were walking, right? And someone was like, oh, when is Ruby going to get married? I was 24 years old at that time because most people were getting married earlier, right? And I remember my mom was like, leave my child alone. Because my mom's rule, you're going to work and have your own money, buy your own things, buy your own lotion, pay your own rent, wear whatever you want to wear, eat whatever you want to eat when you're single. That's what my mama's advice there. But here I am, 24. So 20 years, almost 18 years later, I'm still here. No, not 20, 24. Then I was almost like 20 years later, I'm still here. Single. Those people are quiet. But let me tell you, when I come with my husband, when I come with my husband, you're going to know him. But that's my journey. That's my journey. And for those that married earlier, it's their journey. but never be pressurized by others. If you're not there, it's okay. But be content where you are. You are on the right path. May God gives you understanding. I love you so much. Stay grounded and spread the fire of love everywhere you go. I love you. God bless you and God bless Zimbabwe. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow morning. I thought later on, but tomorrow morning when we talk about Chamisa and his pursuit of this political career, are you guys going to consider election without what do you think has to happen? And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning, guys. I love you and bye for now.